Do you guys want to hear the completely unhinged story of me losing my shit in the Rocky Mountain National Park over the weekend? I'm sitting in traffic, so let's do this really quickly. So my family just went on our first trip ever together, like flying to a new state. We've never done that with kids before. And we went to Colorado to visit my sister, and it was lovely. We had a great trip, except for one small issue. We went to Rocky Mountain National Park, something that I was really excited to go do, and we had timed entry passes. It's this whole backstory that I'm not going to bore you with, but it took a lot to get to the park, okay? It was a lot of logistics. If you've traveled with kids, you kind of understand what I'm talking about. You make all these plans, and whether they come to fruition or not is really kind of out of your control, you know? You're just playing with fire all the time. So we get there. It's almost 5 p.m., and so most of the cars are all leaving, like everybody's kind of like pulling out of the park. That was the only time that we could get was a 4 p.m. entry. We got there late, and all the parking lots say that they're full, but really they're not. They just haven't been able to turn any of the signs over. So we decided to chance it, and we drive all the way to our destination, which was Bear Lake. And we get to the parking lot, and this is where everything went to fucking shit. So all these cars are leaving, and there are park rangers at the entrance deciding who gets to go in and who does not get to go in. And the 4 cars in front of us get greenlit to go in and get spots, and then they red light us and say we have to turn around. My sister was already there. We have a dinner reservation in an hour, and so I rolled down the window and I asked the park ranger, I said, can we do a loop through the parking lot? I see several cars that are backing out right now. I know we can get a spot. We're meeting somebody. She gets really fucking pissed, which I understand. Who am I to say like I'm special and let me in? But she goes, I can't even really hear you. You just have to leave. Like she was she was done. She was done with her day. I get it. But she was fucking with the wrong person. I was also done and stressed and anxious and needed to get this done. My sister has a baby. Like we needed to get to our reservation on time so that the baby wasn't being held up really late. It's just all these things needed to line up, and she was literally standing in the way of me getting a parking spot that I could fucking see with my eyes. I sound like such a dick. I know it. Anyway, so I go, well, we're meeting somebody. Can we just like pull over or whatever? And she was like, you have to leave. And so my husband goes, get out of the car. Just take the kids, get out of the car. So he pulls over and kicks us out of the car. And he says, I'll come back around and see if I can get in. And so I'm trying to get my kids out of the car, and she's now screaming at us that she doesn't allow people to get out of the car. And so she's literally not letting us get to this destination, even though there are walkers coming in. Like people are just coming into this place, and she's just not letting us. She like had a real stickler moment and was like, this family's not getting in today. Meanwhile, she allows 2 cars behind us to go in and get parking spots. So I go, ma'am, I'm really sorry. I've got 2 kids. I'm doing the best that I can. She goes, well, I'm doing the best that I can too, but if you don't get back in that vehicle, I'm gonna have to call the authorities. And that's when I lost my shit, because I go, I'm sorry, you are not doing the fucking best that you can if you are calling the police on my family at the national park. What? And so I lose my shit on her, and I'm like trying to get my kids, and I'm shaking with anger and anxiety at this point. And I full on Karen'd that moment and was screaming at her. My husband was also yelling at her. My husband has never raised his voice at a single human in his life. And then he took off, and then there was a male park ranger who kind of had to like come in and like de-escalate the situation. I was walking away. This woman was not giving up, and I was like, we're gonna call the police to the middle of the Rocky Mountain National Park because a family got out of a car and was confused about the situation, and that's what we're gonna waste their resources on. So was I an asshole? I was absolutely an asshole. Did I almost get our family kicked out of a national park? Yes, probably did. Did my family get completely separated and we had no cell phone reception and it was stressful? Absolutely. Was it the best? No, it wasn't. I didn't even enjoy the fucking lake at that point, but we all survived, and it was a great learning experience, and I would like to issue an apology to all of the park rangers in the world. I appreciate you. You were doing hard work, and I am sorry that I was a dick.